welcome back to RTA. And for the moment you've all been waiting for, we have our special guest, Joel Ware.
How everybody doing? How y'all doing?
So much
Happy New Year. You know I'm going to say that.
Yes,
right.
Thank you so much for being here.
Welcome. So,
Thank you for having me.
Joel, so we're just going to dive right into the questions. We had a lot of our audience members DM us and send us messages with questions that they wanted us to ask you. So we put them all, we collected as many as we could, and we put them together. So if you all see me looking down outside of the camera, that I'm reading the questions because there was no way that I was going to be able to get all of them memorized. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing.
Also, I just want to add, my Yorkie is right here. So if you hear whining or barking, it's most likely my dog, and I apologize in advance.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're going to dive right on in. So Joel, we understand that you are a father first. So tell the audience what it's like to be a single father, a single parent.
So, I guess it depends on your bias. So that's a good question to ask me personally for my own fatherhood. Challenges in a good way and bad way, I would like to say it. It's a great thing. How can I say this? It's a job. It's the number one job for me. You dig? Like, my children and I always have had a great relationship. The interaction is like way up here, so it's, and literally it's just me, their mom passed, my wife passed, so it's been going on 3 years now. In a few more months, it'll be 3 years. So I'm literally a single parent, a single father with twins, a boy and a girl. So my job, which was one time challenging before we lost her, is, I don't even know how to calculate how challenging it is after losing them, but the job in itself is still a rewarding job. You dig? I would never, pat myself on the back and say, you're doing a great job. I just know that when I wake up, I want to do that. God wake me up. I want to be better at being a father. So it's a great job. It's a great challenge. It's a great task. I've worked with kids before, youth advocacy, family therapy, and I've met parents. I've met fathers who weren't doing great jobs, and I've instilled in them some advice. And I've always told myself, it's really a decision. You don't have to not be a great parent, father or mother. So what helps me more than anything is that, I'm more understanding than judgmental. So like that question, is broad. I can go on and on about it because of my personal experiences. But at the end of the day, being a father, a single father, by myself, literally, as a widower, it's still one of the greatest gifts I can say that I'm able to experience. And I would not have been able to even tell you that had I not been able to share that time with their mom to even have them. So, I thank God still for my kids. And I'm thankful, even with her being gone, that I'm still able here to be a father to them, So it's a challenge, but it's a great reward,
And we both want to send out our condolences for you and your children.
Thank you.
Understand that loss can be difficult and challenging in itself.
Yeah.
And so our prayers are with you all.
I appreciate that.
And also with that, if you don't mind touching just a little bit to share with the audience on your situation and what happened with your wife and their mother. If you want to just briefly give the audience a little bit of insight on what actually happened and how you guys are coping with that.
Yeah, that's how can I start? That's a very touchy subject. So Courtney was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. And when we found it, it was all over the place, And I remember when I was at a speaking engagement, speaking to a group of kids, and she called me up. And I remember telling the kids, let me answer this. This is my wife, y'all. And I missed the call, and she texted me, Joel, I need to talk to you. This is very important. But prior to that text message, a few days prior, she told me that she was having trouble with her right eye. Her vision was giving her trouble. So this was where it started. not knowing that this was going to eventually lead to, being diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. So the right eye started giving her trouble. She went to several specialists trying to find out what it was, and they were thinking it was an infectious disease. You dig what I'm saying? But it wasn't. So you got these specialists, these medical physicians in Oregon, and this case is this, is that. They ran a few tests, they did some biopsies, and they found out it was stage 4 lung cancer that had metastasized. All right, so this mass that was behind her eye was the reason why she started to experience the vision in her right eye, the problem with the right eye, which eventually robbed her of her vision. Okay, a lot of people don't know that. So so when I say to touch this subject, I don't mean that it's because I'm still grieving. It's one of those things where you say, man, it's really tough to discuss. You know what I'm saying? You lose someone like that. I've lost people before that I've loved close and dear. But you couldn't tell me that I was going to lose Courtney, the mother of my children. Someone I still call my wife. I still loved her, still was in love with her. We had our problems, but you couldn't tell me that this was going to happen. So you wake up one day and you're like, man, she's gone. And you can't just think about yourself anymore because we got babies. You dig? So I got to make sure that this is not just about Joelle's feelings, because they really suffered the greatest loss more than anybody. You dig what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people loved her, but at the end of the day, they lost their mind. So, that's where it happened, y'all. It was stage 4 lung cancer. We fought it for a year, though. I think the year was a great year. I'm thankful for it. If I had to go through it again and lose it all over again, me personally, I can't speak for my kids. They're very young. I would do it again. If it was the same way it happened, I would do it again. The only thing I would do different is put more time into what we were already doing. But we fought it together as a family, and we had it for a year. We created some memories. For our family, we recreated some memories. But for the most part, we did it together, and I'm thankful for that. You did.
Wow. That's something. But everything in life happens for a reason. There are no coincidences. So, like I said, we're gonna keep you guys in our prayers, in our thoughts.
Well, thank you so much.
All right, so I'm not gonna dive into that one. You want to get into your questions? Yeah.
I'm curious to know. We know you've done a little bit of acting. What got you into acting?
Okay, so when I was going to Southern University as undergrad in Baton Rouge, that's my alma mater, I had no idea that I could even go to college. Going to college was like going to high school. I dropped out in 8th grade, so high school was like my college. College was like my high school. And at Southern, I was asked to be a part of some pageants, not knowing that I was going to try to be a model. I've had some young ladies that I had opportunity to spend some time with, and they shared, you should try modeling. So I tried it. I didn't know what I was doing. I made it as far as I was flown to Chicago to meet the Johnsons, was their name, who were the founders of Jet and Ebony magazine. All right.
Wow.
Yeah, that's when they used to have the Jet and Ebony magazine models.
Right.
So this is 2002.
Yeah.
And they flew me out in Chicago. They shared the same building with Oprah Winfrey, right? And right outside that building, you can see Lake Michigan. I remember that. That was the first place I ever flew in my entire life. First time flying was Chicago. Well, I went there, had no modeling experience or anything. I was more excited to meet the Johnsons. And both of them were still alive, the husband and the wife, right? Wow. They wanted us to do a certain walk and all that crazy. And I didn't know what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? I was just happy to be there, you dig? Yeah. But that's where it kind of like, the idea of it kind of like sparked from there. I took some pictures. I've been to the places where they do casting calls for models and they're taking your money. I've been through all of that, right? Not knowing that acting was going to be something I would try. So this is where acting came in. Acting wasn't because I wanted to act. Acting was because from my past, experiencing anything good and positive, I was okay to do it if I had time to do it. And there was a casting call going on in New Orleans right before Katrina hit, saying if you want to be an extra in a movie called The Reaping, starring Hilary Swank and Idris Elba, come to this location, this time, and we'll look at you. And this girl I was kicking it with at the time told me, you should go try it. I did. And they told me they wanted me to be an extra.
Got it? Wow.
But Katrina hit.
Oh.
Hurricane Katrina hit. I got stuck down on the roof. I was working on my master's in social work at the time.
Oh, wow.
Made it to Baton Rouge. And somewhere around October, they reached out to me. I had my phone still. And it was like, hey, this is such and such from the production company. You still want to do this? And I went and did the extra job on LSU campus. You can't even see me in the movie. I just know my shirt when I see it. Mm. And that's where it's for. Now, I've had experience of seeing production take place years ago before that. But as far as like trying it, that was the first time. I enjoyed it. I met great people. They gave us food to eat, drinks, had a little tent. I mean, it was a job, but I had fun. And it was one of those things where you say to yourself, I never thought I'd be doing this. I want to do this again. So before you leave, you find out, I'm going to talk. So I can go ask, hey, man, how can I do this again? Oh, well, here's my number. Just keep in touch with me. I'm getting ready to start my casting call, but his lady name is Robin. Kept in touch with Mr. Robin. Before you know it, I was in another extra movie with Denzel Washington called Deja Vu.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that's how that went down, you dig? So it wasn't because I was trying to be in that. That didn't have anything to do with it. Like, even right now today, it's more the experience.
Right.
Now, of course, I'm going to put some effort in it. Especially if you see that there's some joy. There's some joy in it, It's all on how you look at things. For me, I never thought I'd be doing it. So now I have a chance to do it. So that's where it led. That's where it all started.
Wow. That is amazing.
That is.
That's amazing.
Okay, let's see here. Ooh, another one. What made you want to join Ready to Love?
So Ready to Love came about because of my my family structure and how it had changed. A new chapter with me and my family going into as being a widow or a single father, right? So I have a sister of mine who has a client who watches the show, and she watches it a lot. She was thinking about going on the show as well. Thought she was having trouble finding a mate. And just in conversation, my sister was like, well, that sounds like something my brother would try because he has someone he's interested in. And for a long time, it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. So this is her speaking to her. So my sister called me and said, yeah, bro, I know you got somebody you care about, but you always tell me that the lady is, up and down with what she got going on. I thought you might try this. And I'm like, man, I'm not worried about that, man. She said, well, if nothing else, bro, you can meet somebody new.
Right.
And that's different for me. Meeting somebody new. That is different. Now, I have met some people new kind of early on after losing Courtney. Regardless of me spending time with somebody and Courtney is going through what she's going through, that's still somebody that's dear to me. So when Courtney's diagnosis took place and the fight took place, nothing else really mattered. I'm just going to be real with you. So after losing Courtney, maybe 6, 7 months, 9 months, 10 months, I probably went on a date with a young lady a few times, and a nice young lady, but it just wasn't there, And I wasn't talking about Courtney. It's just I wasn't there. I was there, but I wasn't there. So I want to say about almost 2 years later, this is when a conversation came about Ready to Love. I had no idea what the show was. I'm not a reality show watcher. You think I'm a movie person. Me and my kid, we like to watch movies. So when she told me about it, I'm like, what is Ready to Love? Girl, get out of here. You dig? Go ahead on that job. But the conversation was good between my sister and I. And we ended it on a note of saying, man, if nothing else, you can go see what it feels like to meet somebody new. That's what caught my attention. I said, you know what? I like that idea of going to meet somebody that I never met before. And, I signed up. And everything else is history, you know what I'm saying?
And we're gonna circle back around to Ready to Love because I know a lot of the audience that was able to view all the episodes on the show, watch the reunions. I know that they want to get your perspective on a lot of things when it comes to the show. So we're gonna circle back around to that, but we're gonna ask a few more other questions and then circle back around to Ready to Love.
Okay. So I know you've done some music. You've created music. What got you into that?
Good question. Music is strictly so. It's amazing how people grieving. Everybody grieves different. Okay, everybody responds to things different. For me, grieving wasn't happening properly. I mean, we have the individual counseling in place. the group counseling in place, both placed in place. I'm going to work, coming home. My mom's here watching the kids. I'm making sure everything is taken care of. I know that I was struggling because there were certain things that I wasn't doing in the house, but I was fine because everything else was flowing. So basically, I continued, not knowing that I wasn't grieving all the way. I wasn't grieving right. You know, I wouldn't sleep in the bed unless the kids sleep with me. I would go sleep in their bed with them, or they'll come sleep in the bed with me. I wouldn't unpack none of the stuff in the master bedroom. So, you know, I knew I had to do better. I knew that. But for the most part, I didn't want my children to know that, you know, Daddy wasn't all right. So I made sure their bedroom was straight. I cooked, cleaned, went ate lunch at school with them, did homework with them. We played, we went and did activities. I was fine. I was even working out. So I was really blinded by my own actions, not knowing it. And then it was one day I went to my brother. You know, shout out to Sice, you know what I'm saying? I went to him, told him I needed a beat. Like, what you need a beat for, bro? I said, man, I want to write a motivational rap. So when I go to motivational speaking, I can either open up with the rap or close with the rap. But it was more or less just to make the speech a little bit interesting. Now, I've never had problems with not holding the audience attention. But in my mind, I'm saying to myself, I want to try this because I've always wanted to try bringing in a motivational rap. But I have a little brother who I was trying to get to do it. Well, this day and age, I was like, you know what? Try it yourself, bro. And I tried it myself. So when I went in there, I did it. And I had no experience in the studio. My brother was grooming me the whole time. I went in there trying to rap the whole thing, running out of breath and all this little crazy shit did. He like, no, man, give me the first verse. Give me that verse. Give me an ad-lib. And I don't know. I'm excited to hear what it's going to sound like. He mixed it, mastered it. I'm on my way to work. It takes 7 hours to drive to work. On my way to work, I'm listening to it. I liked it. And I'm like, man. I called him up on my way home. I said, bro, I got another song idea. So, and it's crazy how things happen, y'all. I'm telling you, I had no idea I was going to be bit by a bug. So I found myself just wanting to be in the studio, just in there, like hanging around him, watching him do what he do. And every now and then I'd go in there with an idea, not even recording for any reason other than what I went there initially for. Long story short, he realized that I enjoyed it. He was like, man, look, if you want to come here and put some more songs down, take your time, bro. Give me some ideas on some beats. I'll make them, I'll send them to you. And that's where that started. And what I found out was that started to help me grieve properly. I started to kind of like feel good in a way I wasn't feeling. So to sum it up, the music, making the music, being in the studio, I don't know what it is. It could be a combination of it. Whatever took place, I stamped it with being my grief counselor. Because whatever I was getting from it, I wasn't getting from my individual counselor. I wasn't getting from the group counseling. I wasn't getting from nobody. But when I went there, it felt like I was releasing.
I was just getting ready to say that. Like a release. Yeah. Wow. And
it wonderful feeling. You know, I found myself realizing that I know how to write. I know how to hear my music and know what to do, how to be myself in the studio. And it took off from there. Now, I published the songs. The only reason why I published is because he encouraged me to. He said, don't come in here and do music, man, and not publish them, bro. You know, publish your songs so they can be your property. Now, I think that was one of the best advice he gave. That's the best advice he gave me going to the studio. I think I should have done that. Had he not said that, I probably wouldn't have published them. You go there, you put all that time and you spend money for your sessions, and why not publish them? You know, so that's where the music came in. That's why I call it my grief counselor. Even to this day, sometimes I'll go in there, you guys, won't even be music playing anything. I'll just go in there. I'll book an hour session and just chill out in the studio.
So
you know, and you know, I mean, now how long that's gonna last, I don't know.
Yeah, your happy place.
It is. It really is. Now on the show, Tommy said, "So you found joy spitting bars." And I said, yeah, I guess you could say it like that, bro. I guess you could say it like that, you know. Because don't get me wrong. It's not that I wasn't happy. I wasn't grieving right.
Right.
Grieving, everybody grieves different, and you can be hindering. You can be slowing your grieving process down because you think you're grieving right. I was able to identify I wasn't, but I didn't know the studio was going to be. I didn't know the studio was going to be a good friend of mine to help me channel my grieving a little different. I didn't think that was going to happen like that.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
And another question that I have for you, this is a personal one from me, not the audience. I'm curious to know, because everyone has their celebrity crush. Do you have one?
Long time ago I did. Right now, my celebrity crush is, I like my celebrity crush is Rihanna. I like the way she represents the black ladies. You heard me?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Rihanna is new age, old black sister.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know what she's doing now, but you know, as far as the way she came up and the way she do her music, the way she represents herself, I think she carries herself really, really well as a black sister. You know what I'm saying? Now, you go back in my day when I was growing up, I'm more like Anita Baker, Whitney Houston, Patti LaBelle, Stephanie Mills. You know what I'm saying? That's my thing. Angela Winbush. You think I'm a 70s baby, but those women really carried a certain level of class when it came to women and when it came to black women. You don't see that no more today. You feel me?
Right.
You don't even see that in the Beyonce. Beyonce has her own lane, and I love what she's done too, because she has her own lane. But there was something about certain ladies in the past, man. They were inspiring when it came to black ladies stand up for black women.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You know, Shaka Khan. You know, even the ones that wasn't black that loved black people, like Tina Marie. Tina Marie wasn't black, but she loved black people, and she wanted to represent black ladies. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, Rihanna would be what would be in my category of a celebrity crush. I wouldn't want to think too hard because I'd probably be trying to think of somebody at that point. Oh, and then you know what another one is? Tidra Moses. I love her music. Tidra Moses. I don't know if you know about Tidra Moses.
I'm not familiar.
Tidra Moses is another one.
I'll have to look. I'll have to Google it after this.
You gotta check Tidra Moses out. She got some good music. You know what I'm saying? So Tidra Moses and Rihanna.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who inspired you? Like you seem to be like a Renaissance man in a sense. And who brought inspiration to you?
You know, I have a brother named David. He was a junior to my dad, and you know, my mom and my dad split. I was 3. David was the one who took the initiative to show that attention to me. So he was like the big brother, father figure. David was the one who took me around, allowed me to hang around. Now all my brothers did that, but David was the one that really, really grabbed me. All my brothers chastised, instilled advice, tried to make sure I go the right way. You know, growing up in my time, it was a lot different from now. You know, fighting was good back then. You got into a fight with your friends, you played a few hours later. I went through all of that, but David was the one that had that hand on me. I lost David when I was 15, back in January of 1995. And fortunately, I have grabbed just enough to even share that with you, to say that he really had that impact on me. My dad has a percentage of it as well, and that comes mostly from me always having respect for him and wanting to be a part of his life. Now, I didn't know what it was like to be around a dad all the time. So when I saw him every now and then, I thought that's what it was supposed to be. So it didn't rob me of the good feeling of knowing who my daddy was, even though I didn't see him as much. So the spontaneity, the laughter, the smile, and the good feelings I got when it come to daddy, it was still like, even though I didn't get daddy the way I would have liked to get more of daddy. But David put more time in. When daddy and my mama split, David was there. He was there. He was the one teaching me, showing me. Now all of the brothers did, but David had that father figure with me. And strangely said, David was a music guy, big time dancer. He was a disc jockey.
Okay.
Long time ago, they called him Master D. He was well known as a DJ back in the days. People like Manny Fresh, all those well-known DJs in New Orleans, all those well-known radio personalities, they know my brother. They know my brother, yeah. So that's where a lot of that comes from. Of course, you know, as your journey goes on, me personally, I've met people where, you know, men in particular, who I thought were upstanding guys, and I may see something about them that I thought was great, and I keep it for myself to make me be a better person. But the origin of it is David, my brother David.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I heard you mention New Orleans. So, can you tell the audience, where did you grow up?
New Orleans. Born and raised in New Orleans, baby. Cross Canal, Royal and Flood. Graduated from Thomas Alva Edison. House caught fire when I was 8 years old. So we moved uptown. General Taylor Drive, 12 Ward. Everybody knew the 12 Ward. Everybody knew the 9 Ward. I'm a graduate at Thomas Alva Edison. I went to Lawrence 1 year. I went to Woodson. That's uptown for like a month. Got jumped from the Magnolia Project. Like, you know, New Orleans is territory. You dig? But New Orleans is born and raised. I'm born and raised in New Orleans. I was born at a hospital called Methodist. Most people are born at charity. I think after the 50s, maybe into the 60s, people weren't really born at charity no more. They were starting to be, because these new little small hospitals started to pop up. Methodist was one of them. You see what I'm saying? So I was born at Methodist Hospital, New Orleans, Louisiana.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
So right now you currently reside in Houston.
I reside in Houston.
Houston. And so how do you like Houston?
Houston is cool, baby. I think Houston is cool. I like this. I like that it's big. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be running up on nobody. Nobody got to be running up on you all the time. I like that.
Yeah.
Now, we on the northeast side, close to Humble. You dig what I'm saying? So my people who from New Orleans, they live in Cypress and Cave. And they don't like driving over here. I'm cool with that.
Okay.
You dig what I'm saying? Because I come see you. You know, you can come see me, but I come see you if you want to come see me. That means I ain't got to worry about people. Because my family can pull up right now and just walk in. That's how we were raised. They'll just come on in. I don't even know they're here. Just walk on in. What's going on? Where you at? What's going on, bro? I'm the same way. Now, you know, I can't just do it to my sister. She married. My brother, he married. But we grew up, we just walk on in. You know what I'm saying? So I got to catch myself sometime with this, you know? But no, Houston is nice. I don't get out as much as I used to. I think I've gotten out. The most I've gotten out has been in 2021 in the Houston area. And that's restaurants, lounges, you know, any little night hangout spots. That's the most I've gotten out is in 2021, which is crazy, you know what I'm saying? Because other than that, I was going to work, come home, grocery store, you know, I don't know. That was me.
Yeah, Houston. It's it has a lot of nice restaurants, and at one point it had a really nice nightlife. I know we had Hurricane Harvey here that hit that kind of destroyed a lot of places, and so Houston has kind of been in the process of rebuilding in some areas, but it's coming back together. It is. I
got involved in that rescue with Harvey too. I got involved in Harvey rescue when it happened. I drove from Louisiana. I drove from Grand Isles, Louisiana, because my family was out here, and I was trying to get to them to help them. So, and trying to help them, I ended up helping other people. I pulled my boat out here, you dig, and I was actually involved in rescuing people from Orange, Vidor, Jasper. They be saying Vidor is the, you know, Hicktown. I was helping them too, you dig, all the way to Beaumont. I didn't make it to Houston, but I was close to it. But that Harvey was something else for y'all out here, you know. Yeah. It really was. We had a flood in Louisiana in Baton Rouge the year prior. I went through that flood too. My house went under completely.
Oh man.
Wow. Yeah, so I'm familiar with the floods, baby.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you have a boat, though. So.
Yeah.
Right.
That came in handy for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
One of the questions one of our viewers or followers on Instagram wanted to ask you is, what's the weirdest question you've ever been asked?
The weirdest question I've ever been asked? Ooh,
From a fan. From a man?
A fan?
A fan?
A fan?
A fan?
What's the weirdest question I've been asked from a fan?
Yes.
That's a good question, you dig? Because I never looked at any of them weird. But I'm going to think about, watch this. Because that's some good fans for that show. I meet somebody every day. The weirdest question I've had from a fan that I can pick out of the questions been asked. Let's see. This is one. This is one. But this is depending on your bias. So I don't want to say it's weird to that person to ask me. I think it's the weirdest one, like you said. Well, if it doesn't work with you and the young lady you were trying to, working with, would you try? Okay, would you date anybody else on the show? And if not, would you do Ready to Love again? That's the question. So it was two questions in one. And I remember telling the people, I was like, no, if it didn't work with this person, I'm not. All the rest of the castmates, they all living. You heard me? Like, I'm not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of love for them, and I've had more than one connection too. But and that may be me stopping something that might be able to really genuinely happen. But in my opinion, if it didn't work here, I'm not doing that with nobody else on cast. Will I do Ready to Love again? Man, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That was an experience. You did. You know what I'm saying? So that would depend on where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say no. I can't say yeah. I would say that depends on where I'm at. If that was even approached, if I was even asked to even do it again. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't just say no. But I ain't gonna date nobody else on the show. At least I wouldn't want to date nobody else on the show because we've had our chance. So I went here. If this didn't work, I'm not about to go over here. I think I think that's just being fair.
Okay, so I'm going to piggyback on her question. What's the weirdest thing that a fan has ever done for you?
Okay, the weirdest thing a fan ever done for me? Yeah. That can be bad or good, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go to the good one. I have a fan who was inspired by knowing my family's story. And she's way in New York. And that lady has shown a ton of love by sending educational tools to my children. And I say it's weird because it came out of nowhere. I didn't know who it was. I scratched my head figuratively several times because I ordered stuff for my kids through Amazon. It came from Amazon. So I'm like, wait a minute. So I convinced myself, okay, it's some books you bought for your kids. But no, she messaged me. She said, hey, just want to make sure you got those gifts for your kids. I want you to know this, that, and I want you to know I've been through that, and I want your kids this and that. Don't tell nobody who it is and everything. And I felt bad. I was like, dang. All this time you convinced yourself, because I really thought I did. I buy stuff all the time, like journaling, books and stuff like that, Yeah. But no, that lady was almost sending gifts like I would buy for my kids personally for myself. That was the weird thing. Wow. I didn't know who it was, and the gifts were so head on, like I would have ordered. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
But she sent several gifts thereafter. She's been a really good support, a really good supportive fan. That's the weirdest thing a fan has ever done. Oh, and that's the weirdest one. I'll tell you another one. This one right here is the general one, though. When I'm out shopping groceries, when I'm out making groceries, people tend to recognize my voice more than anything.
Yes.
Recognize my voice more than anything. Yeah. So I had a lady in the store one day. She followed me around for a while. You did. And then she finally stopped me. She said, you the guy from the show? And I said, yes, ma'am. I thought I heard your voice, and I said, well, baby, you kind of like scared me. I didn't know who you was. You know what I'm saying? That was before that was like early on. The show had just aired, so I ain't expect people to recognize that quick. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you dig. So yeah.
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 Okay, what is one of your biggest or weirdest fears?
Biggest or weirdest fears? That's the general question, right? Okay, my biggest and weirdest fears? My biggest fear, and I don't even know if it's a fear, but I'm going to say it anyway, because I don't categorize it as a fear, but I'm going to say it because it is a concern for me. My biggest concern would be to not leave, to leave sooner, to leave Earth, and not be here long enough to help my kids, to help raise my kids and help them be in a position where they can take care of themselves. If I had to miss seeing them graduate from college, if that was the case, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that if I knew I've done the necessary things where they can take care of themselves. That makes any sense. That's more of a huge, weird concern for me now because I'm the only parent. Like, I'll tell you all day, I would replace. I would take Courtney's spot if I could. You know what I'm saying? God knew that. God knew it. If God read hearts, he know that. But that's not my call. So that's my biggest concern that would be considered a big fear. Other than that, shoot, girl, look, I'm active. I love getting out. I'm trying to get back into fishing. That's something I haven't done since COVID passed. Happily, I haven't done it. I haven't hunted happily. So if I can't move around anymore, like physically, just don't take my mind away. If I can have my mind, I'm fine. You see what I'm saying? You know, so if I had to lose my mind, that would be the worst. That'd be the biggest. That'd be another biggest fear for me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Let's see. Oh, another one that came from a follower on our Instagram page is, if you could have any superpower, what superpower would you choose and why?
Girl, that's a good one. I tell you, girl, man. If I could read people's heart, that would be the superpower I would like to possess. You dig? Truthfully speaking, I'm gonna understand. I take a lot of. I really appreciate that. I like to understand what's in front of me first before judgment. Not that I don't judge, but I try to understand first. So I'm a combine that with me saying the power I would like to have is reading hearts, because in my opinion, if I can read somebody's heart, you know, I know how to. I can know what's going on with them. You know what I'm saying? I can know how to handle things accordingly moving forward. That could be anything. A person, like I was saying earlier, you don't know what a person's going through, right? I was in New Orleans the other day, and I was kicking it with this guy named Mr. Keith. He's at Cafe Du Monde over in City Park. And went over there, gave a cat a hug, chilling with him. He's an older guy. He's risen from Tennessee, but he's been raised in New Orleans. Had a great conversation, you know what I'm saying? And right when I left him, I said, man, I got to come find you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because I told you I'm come look for you every time I come here. We good friends. When I walked off to go to the ATM to get some money to tip him, I came looking for him. I saw a young lady, a little black girl. She had a mask on, but she had this real mean mug on her face, right? And everybody's not gonna be like me. I really try to understand first before I judge, right? Most people, in my opinion, will be like, why is she looking like that? But the first thing I would say is she got something going on. Yeah. Right? Something must be bothering her. It don't always have to be she mad being there. And that's why I would like to be a person that had a superpower where I can read hearts, because I can go to them and I can go directly to the problem and say, look, don't let that bother you, baby. I can go straight to it and be like, look, smile, they gonna be over with. I know this is what you got going on. They might be like, how'd you know that? Worry about that. Worry about it. You see what I'm saying? Right. And I think that would be a real good tool to help change lives. Because if you know what somebody's going through and you hit them with it, I wouldn't even get into the part of telling them, you know, God told me this. You know what I'm saying? Like, look here, baby, God woke us up. That's what I'm gonna give them credit right. Look, God woke us up. You still here? That's a reason to not stop fighting. Don't let this consume you. What you talking about? Come here, let me whisper in your ear. This is what I'm talking about. You know you're gonna mess their head up. You know you're gonna mess their head up.
I know for sure that would freak me out.
They don't even know you. You know? And
but it would help a lot of people. It would help a lot of people. It would help a lot of people too, though. Yeah, that would really
Now, you see, that's where your experience coming at. Sometimes I have been successful with identifying and locating young people because of my past experience and when we dealing with that kind of population. But the heart is serious, though, because you don't know what's going on in somebody's heart.
Right.
The expression doesn't tell you that all the time. I can be booting you up. That don't mean I'm mad at you. You see what I'm saying? I can be smiling. That don't mean I'm not sad either. So you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. I'm looking down my list. Okay. What would be a good theme song for your life and why?
For my life?
Yes.
Girl, you're a mess, girl. That's a good one, you know what I'm saying? Let's see. You know what? Bob Marley, One Love, you heard me?
Okay.
Bob Marley. Because I'm a slow song listener. They got a song by a group called Force MDs, all right? And I was about to say Tender Love, all right? Force MD got a song called Tender Love, one of my favorite songs, you dig? But that wouldn't be appropriate for a theme song for my entire life. It would either be One Love by Bob Marley or that song that Luther Vandross made. So Luther Vandross got a song called Bad Boys.
I think I've heard that one. I think I've heard that one, yes.
Yeah, I like that song there, you know what I'm saying? It puts me back in that time, you know what I'm saying? That good feel. So yeah, Bob Marley, One Love. Luther Vandross, Bad Boys, and I even throw in there No Woman, No Cry about Bob Marley. No Woman, No Cry. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I got to pick one, right?
Yes, only one.
Pick one.
Only one.
So let's see. One Love, Bob Marley. Right. One Love.
We've got a Bob Marley fans, you guys.
Okay, so with all of the things that you have going on, we also understand that you have a nonprofit organization called Mr. Fit. So can you tell us more about Mr. Fit and what that's all about?
Yeah, Mr. Fit is a nonprofit I started 10 years ago. This July makes 10 years, and it stands for Making Room for Improvement Today. And that is something that I live by. I use that slogan. That's a tool I use. I call it a tool to let people know how that has helped me. And if it helped me in my troublesome years when I made bad decisions to help me overcome personal obstacles, or when I was overcoming personal obstacles, that's the mindset I reminded myself to stay in. Look, bro, you want to make room for improvement every day. So someone would say, well, explain that to me, right? Well, it's simple. What is it you're trying to accomplish? What is it you're trying to accomplish? What goals are you trying to achieve? You know, that could be emotional, relationships, physical, spiritually. You know, okay, well, what is stopping you? Well, now you identify the things that stop you. You know what I'm saying? If you take those things, you remove them, and now you have a void. So you want to fill that void with the good things, all of the positive things that's going to help you get where you're going to achieve those goals. Now, the key thing about making room for improvement today is to tell people, don't wait. Now you've identified what it is. Now you go ahead and brainstorm what you need to do. Don't wait till your new year. Don't wait till your birthday. Start today. I don't care if it's just brainstorming after you've identified. You've made room for improvement that day. You're starting to go toward achieving your goals. Your goal or your goals. So that's what it stands for. So, and I preach that on every platform I spoke on, every platform I've spoken on, and I speak on, you know, that I will speak on, because I think it ain't no different than telling somebody don't give up. Basically, don't give up. But it's engineered and structured a little different, and I back it up with my story. You know, that's the great thing about it. I can give a testimony and be a living witness of, hey, I've done this, I've done that. That's what you're going through. Look, I can't dictate how that make you feel, but look, this is what I went through. I would trade places in a heartbeat. Well, how you did it? Man, look, I just made room for improvement. I got rid of this, that, and the third. I started doing this.
So the organization, you go out and you speak to the youth, or like, how does it work?
Oh, it goes good too. All over. Matter of fact, I have an engagement on the 31st of July this month in Dallas, where we're gonna have a big school supplies we're gonna give out.
Okay.
With 500 plus students.
Oh wow.
And like I said earlier, I've not had a problem with keeping the audience attention, and that's always a great thing. That means you're doing something right. I'm gonna tell you when you're doing something right too. When I thought I was speaking to just kids, I wasn't. I was speaking to anybody that needed to hear it.
Yes.
So that goes for race, gender, and different ages. It don't matter. So when you have a story to tell, it's not up to you who you telling it to.
Right.
Or who you gonna reach. You just need to go out there and be honest when you have an opportunity to be honest. You know. So, but the program is doing well. You know, I think I'll finally start gaining some funding. I'm looking forward to working with a small group of guys. I don't want to get out of control where I can't handle it, because I think if it was just 5 guys and I can really impact them, then I can take them 5 guys and convince them to do what I'm doing. So, you know, it takes a village, and you got to start small. It don't always have to be a big shebang right away. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I think it's doing well. It's it has potential to really help some people.
Now, what's your connection with the prison? Because I know I remember you had something going on with Mr. Fit and the prison, like pipeline.
Yeah, so that's the positive prison pipeline to positive living is basically what it is. And I'm paraphrasing. It's probably worded different on the flyer I put out a few weeks ago, a month ago. The connection I have here is none, really. This is me raising money to start doing things. So when I approach the prisons and I get the opportunity to come in and do these things with the prison systems. That's juvenile prisons and adults.
Okay.
I'll have funds to actually create certain events. And that could be, that could be something as simple as doing stuff like the school supply giveaway for young people, of course. Or if these guys are in a group home or some kind of release program, I can go there and set up some kind of barbecue or something like that. Go out there and fellowship with these guys and sit down and kick it.
Okay.
Have some people come there and partner up with me to offer information on what's available to them when they come home. See, that's where the village thing comes into place, right? So I can start this front, and now I can attract people who see me doing it. Hey man, what you got going on? Well, this is what I want to do. Man, I want to help. Okay, come on. Let's go. You see what I'm saying? So that is. Now, and I know all day long, it's up to that person to want to do something with themselves. You can put help in front of people all day long. I'm completely aware of that. That right there never discouraged me, because I know one thing: if you do your part, you've done your part.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So speaking of fit, a lot of the audience members, they want to know, how do you keep yourself physically fit? Like, what's your secret?
So I work out pretty regularly, y'all. And Mr. Fit, the slogan, making room for improvement today, a portion of it does talk about physical fitness. But even that part of it, in my life, it's more of a spiritual thing. So I tell people all the time, you want to feel good first, look good later, right? Don't get so caught up into, I got to lose this weight. Don't get caught up in that. Get caught up into understanding what you're trying to accomplish. And allow yourself to connect with that workout routine you're doing, and appreciate how it's making you feel. And then everything else will come in place, right? Everything else will land you out, because you want to feel good first. So for me, working out is a regular thing. I ride the bike. I have a bicycle I ride in the community, but I also ride at the gym. Now, I'm not big on lifting heavy. I used to be when I was in college and I played sports, but I'm more of a guy who does more reps, lighter weights. I'm big on resistance bands and calisthenic workouts.
Okay.
So, for an example, I have a group that I work out with young ladies on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And we work out with a medicine ball, a resistance band, a yoga mat, and the band that goes around your thighs. And we get an hour workout in, when I tell you. But that's because, I've been doing it so long, I'm able to teach them how to do it without having to always have the gym available to you. You see what I'm saying? So, to sum it up, because I can talk, diet is very important too, y'all. Diet is very important. You can't be running around here eating everything. So I can't tell you to stop eating what you like to eat. That word, moderation, that's true. You need to eat accordingly, and you need to make sure you drink more water than anything else. More water than anything else. And make sure you get good rest. Now, I've been working out since I was 14. Been doing push-ups and sit-ups since I was 14. So this thing go back a long time now. So
Okay.
So it might sound like Chinese arithmetic to you, but I've been working out for a long time. But there's nothing hard about it. Nothing hard about it.
Okay. You just gotta, like you said, it's a mindset thing.
Yeah.
And feel good first, and then everything else.
Yeah.
To practice after that, but you got to get your mind in that mind frame to,
And every little bit counts.
Right.
Every little bit counts.
Right.
If you do a little bit of work towards your body, you work out. Even if you work out an hour and you only do 15 minutes, go get them 15 minutes.
Yes.
Go get them anyway, because they count. Because if you don't do it, that counts way more to you going backwards. It takes a whole lot of gain what you're trying to accomplish when it comes to that. And that's for anything. But if you stop or if you slow down, you set yourself back way, way back. That's always hard. And that can discourage people. Yeah. So make sure whenever you do it, remember every little bit count, and consistency helps. You gotta just stay on.
Okay. So we're gonna do a full circle now and go back to what everyone is waiting on.
Go ahead,
that's
I'm ready.
That's Ready to Love show. So we know that there's been you guys had the reunion part 1 and part 2, and everybody was counting on the relationship that you built on the show. And there's been lots of interviews with a lot of the cast members that have already gone out there. But I know everybody's been waiting to hear your perspective on just your experience throughout the show. And yeah, if you can just share, your experience and how you felt, why the outcome in your situation landed in the way that it did.
Well, let me start by saying that I had a wonderful experience. I really did. Shout out to Oprah Winfrey, Will Packer Productions, Nephew Tommy's wife is old lady. Like, I think they've done a great job with helping us expose our dating experiences to the world. You dig? And truthfully speaking, if I couldn't tell you that I would have had a great time had it been done any different. This was it. Like it was just that good. In spite of anything that didn't need to happen. Put it like that. So even with the way things turned out toward the end, with Venetia and I, we decided not to pursue each other. Continue to get to know each other, and I still had a great time. I developed, really good friendships, that I still have to this day. I don't talk to Venetia as much, but I think, when things calm down, that may change. I don't know. But for the most part, I had a great time. I had a chance to get to know Venetia, Liz, Tressa, Chrysanthemum, Stacy, Amber. I got a chance to know everybody on certain levels. And the reason why I say certain levels is because somebody may have gotten eliminated. Someone may have started to show more interest in somebody else, so that would kind of cut down the communication between me and that person. And with the exception of Ida and Andre, they got eliminated really early in the process, so I didn't get a chance to really get to know them. But I did. But I do know that there would have been some good good vibes going on with getting to know those two people too. I do know that. So I think if anything would have been done different, I would have liked for those two people to stick around a little longer. Even Khalil and Christian. I think if they had stuck around maybe another episode or two, it would have changed the narrative for everybody, even for you guys watching. You know what I'm saying? I think I probably would even been I probably would even made it that far with Venetia. If I wouldn't have made it that far with Venetia had Tressa not got eliminated. So when those things take place, it's not that you aren't sure or unsure. It's a dating experience. So you got 10 women, 10 men. I really have a huge appreciation for the way they was like, who are the ones you feeling the most? Who's the ones you aren't feeling the most? They weren't telling you to alienate them. They just were saying, who you feeling the most right now? I really like the way they did that because it gives you an opportunity. It gives you an opportunity to express that. Okay, I'm feeling this person right now. Well, why? Well, this, that. Okay, that don't mean you can't. Have to talk to these. So see me, I'm happy I did talk to everybody because if I didn't, I would have never had a chance to get to know Amber. And see, it wasn't about me making it with Amber. I got a chance to know Amber, right? Same thing with Liz, same thing with Tressa. So, I can't complain. It was great. Now, when you go through stuff like this, you have no control over anybody else's opinions, the way they move, how they do their thing. You know what I'm saying? So, you just got to do you. And I did that. I gave them me. Like when you see that person, that's me. You dig what I'm saying? Look, I have no regrets. I have no regrets at all. You dig what I'm saying? I mean, if you want to know why, Venetia and I kind of went south and we made it to the end, well, there's more to it to that. There's more to it to me and Venetia. A lot of things that I try to communicate to her at the reunion, I was communicating those things to her during the filming process. And that's one of the things that she was adamant about. Well, he didn't communicate. And it depends on how you look at it. Because I thought I was communicating effectively. But then it made me wonder, well, if I was communicating and you're saying I wasn't, then somebody wasn't listening. So were you listening to me? You see what I'm saying? So we started having these conflicts because I started feeling like she wasn't hearing me. and that can come across that can kind of discourage you. You know what I'm saying? I was disappointed. I was discouraged because it became to me it came across like you find excuses not to spend time with me, and that wasn't the case. I was telling her, I need you to slow down. You dig? So when we made it to where y'all saw us at, we had already had problems anyway. You see, so, and I did want to make sure that we gave it a shot, because by the time we got to where we were in the show, my other connections had already been eliminated, and my other potential connections had already been eliminated, and if they weren't, they were not available anymore because they were already, having a stronger connection with someone else. So as it winds down, you find yourself not settling. You find yourself, okay, well, me and you stay together. Let's see where to go. You see what I'm saying? But that's not an easy thing either. I think first and foremost, you gotta be able to be friends first. You dig what I'm saying? You gotta be able to be good friends first, and you can't just be any kind of friends. You gotta have respect for each other. You dig? Like that's very important. If you can't be friends and have respect for one another, then nothing really organically is gonna go the way it needs to go anyway. You see, so now you starting to bring in all these other things that doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying? Like the statements and stuff that come up that don't have nothing to do. You can stop right here and say, well, look, this is where we're going wrong at. We should have been here, but we're over here now. So where we gonna go? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, but even with all that said, I had a great time.
Okay, so what was your biggest challenge? What was your greatest challenge throughout the process of the whole show, and then what was your greatest moment in the process?
My biggest challenge was making sure my house didn't fall apart, my household. So when I had the opportunity to go on Ready to Love and be a part of the process, I was newly furloughed from my employer. Normally I would go away for 7 days, sometimes 10, come home for 7 days, but that wasn't the case. I was furloughed, and I was leaning on my construction company, which is a residential construction company. And I don't have the relationships I had in Louisiana that I have here. So I've been doing mainly just outdoor kitchens, right? And I had a project going on. I had 3 projects going on at the time. My niece was helping me babysit the kids, and I didn't want anything to create any lack with the time that I have with my family. So that was the hardest thing for me, to make sure that didn't happen. So it was times that I come home. When I tell you I do everything I can for myself because I enjoy it, not because I'm trying to save money. I'm a frugal guy, not cheap, you dig? But I love cutting my grass because I can't find nobody to cut my grass the way I cut my grass. Same thing with my landscape. I do all that myself, So those things were just growing all over the place. And my neighbors even know, man, what's wrong with you? You're always a good looking y'all. Man, I got something going on. And my water bill ain't high, so I couldn't tell them, man, I'm a part of this process on this reality show. So I just had to catch it whenever I can catch it, cut the grass when I can cut it. It was time that grass was like, look, you see what I'm saying? So I come home, the house was out of whack, but my babies and my time didn't lack. You see what I'm saying? That was my biggest concern, that I could maintain the time with my kids. JoJo had baseball practice. Calvin had gymnastics, that was hard, y'all. That really was. You know what I'm saying? So that was the hardest thing. And I was able to manage that with the help of my niece. And when we put the cameras down, it was even harder trying to make sure I catch up. It was even harder. It was like, because I'm an entrepreneur now, right? I don't have the ability to look for a check. And because some people still had jobs. Some of us was entrepreneurs already. Some people had jobs, So me, no, I had to make it count when it needed to count. You dig? So that was tough. Now, my biggest moment,
your greatest
throughout the show?
Your greatest moment throughout the show.
I think my greatest moment was when I explained to Tommy why I got emotional in the gentleman's lounge. Because they, when you guys saw it, you guys thought it was because I went and helped Jason move his stuff, but it wasn't even about that. It was a combination of happiness and a little bit of sadness. I sat there while we were talking, and where the conversation went, I was listening, and it hadn't come to me yet for me to say something. So when it finally got to me, I was just appreciative and thankful that, I was able to be a part of the process, knowing that I was okay to even meet somebody without getting so emotional. In that moment, I thought about Courtney, and I had a conversation. I remember a few years ago, Courtney told me, she said, I want you to find you somebody. I don't want you to do this by yourself. You got to get you somebody to help you love these babies the way we love our children. And in that moment, I was thinking about that. So when they got to me, Jason had mentioned I went and helped him move. Now, I had no idea he was going to do that. You dig? And I didn't tell nobody. I had no plans on telling nobody that. My bill ain't high like that. Now, I'm not mad enough for saying it, but when he said it, he caught me right on the verge of feeling happy and sad at the same time. So,
So you were already deep in thought. You were already deep in thought.
I was already deep in thought, and that was the biggest moment, because I had to let them know. I said, look, bro, everybody come here with different experiences, and this ain't just about finding, old lady. And vice versa, the girls find an old man. For me personally, it could be just something as simple as brotherhood, bro. You see what I'm saying? I ain't come here looking for no brotherhood, but I ain't here trying to stop it either. You feel me? So, I was able to explain it. Now, the way that the show aired it, you guys kind of different glimpse of it, which I think is still cool, because it leaves a question mark. You can look at it, you can put your own perspective on it. But at the end of the day, if Joel don't say what it really was bothering him, you really never know. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say, my shout out goes to them. I noticed that my castmates, they've said some things about how they edited and this was production, and I'm not gonna do that, because I think they did what they were supposed to do. Now it's up to us, whenever we have the opportunity to be interviewed, or we want to do that, to express how we felt truly. You know what I mean? But those were my two things. That was my hardest moment, and that was my greatest moment. Because it was like all at one time let me know, man, you can do this, bro. You can do this. In spite of what y'all are going through, if nothing happened, you come here, bro, be yourself, be honest. You don't know what's going to come out of this. But just be you, because you can do this. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was a good feeling.
Okay. All right. So, with everything that you have going on, entrepreneur, model, actor, professionally, when do you plan to retire? And where do you see yourself in the next, or where do you see yourself post-retirement?
So retirement for me was me working in corporate. Retiring from corporate in the oil industry. You dig? Somewhere in one of the offices, spaces somewhere, Woodlands, or one of these headquarters. Because, Texas is big in that industry. Now, I am well-rounded in that industry. I have a wealth of knowledge. And for a black man, that industry don't have a lot of black people, especially in the position that I was able to work hard and obtain, right? So I'm thankful to even I had the opportunity to even get there, I have a wealth of knowledge. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because that industry is one of the industries that taught me that I was not as behind in education as I thought I was. I have a GED. I'm very, very, very proud of my GED. Nothing would have started unless I would have gotten that. But I didn't get it because of education. I got it because I was told I couldn't work all day unless I had it. So that was the motivation behind it. I went to college, then went working in the oil field, not even knowing that I can do math and science and chemistry, right? And you need to know all these things. You need to know all these calculations, because you can't see what's going on in the ground. So science relies on math and science combined to do these things. Now, math was my worst subject. My first A ever was in math in college. But in the oil field, it taught me that I was not only behind, I was able to catch up. And I was also smaller than what I thought I was, right? You're talking about one of the only engineers on the Louisiana coast for a Fortune 500 company.
Wow.
Now, I can't speak for the demographics anywhere else. I know in Louisiana, I was the only, at that time, black engineer. And I was doing an exceptional well job for them, running the whole Gulf Coast. I remember working for a company in Oklahoma called Keen Energy. I met one black guy who was a driller, which is a well-known position. I was the only black driller for my rig for 3.5 years. Wow. That's like, and that's normal, but it's not. It shouldn't be. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, like people will come shake my hands. You know, Caucasian guy would come shake my hands. Hey man, I didn't know you was a driller. Oh man, I just want you to know, man, I'm happy for you. I never met a black driller, and the guy don't mean no harm. But that was just a conversation. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I still like to say that I have to tell myself, you enjoy working hard. What are you gonna do? So I found myself going to work on a petroleum engineer degree to retire in corporate. So I don't have to be really doing the physical side of it. I really love working hard, right? And if that doesn't work, I'll just be an entrepreneur the rest of my life because I really love working. So if I got to work the rest of my life without retirement, at least work for myself. So if I don't retire, that's what I'm going to do. You see what I'm saying? Now, you know, I really appreciate God waking me up, baby. So if He wake me up and I'm able to go get it, I'm going to go get it. I just got to make sure I tell myself, don't work hard so all your life, bro, because you do want to be at least able to enjoy something with your family, you know? Yeah.
Wow.
You know.
Okay, Joel, so do you have any advice for the men and women that are out there watching this right now? What would you like them to walk away with?
I'll tell you what I like more with. Somebody asked me the other day why I always say Happy New Year. This is what I'm going to tell you what it means. Stop being so traditional. You heard me? Don't be so traditional. God wake us up every day. That's a new day. I say Happy New Year. It's just a slogan. It's more of a motivational pep slogan. Happy New Year. Same as saying good day. Wake up every day wanting to and knowing you want to be better than you was yesterday. Like it's a Happy New Year. Yeah, New Year is January 1st, every first of a new year. That's the traditional side. Be happy like it's a Happy New Year. To try to do better today than you did yesterday. That's all that means, you dig? And when I say my water bill ain't high, that means I don't tell my business. Try to be a little bit more private about your life. Stop getting involved and running your mouth here, hearing everything from somebody else. Because that's not good. You see what I'm saying? Keep your business to yourself. Keep good people around you. And try to do better every day. Every day God give you a new day. And that's how I roll with it, you dig?
Okay. I plan on using those phrases.
Yeah.
I plan on using those today, probably.
Yeah.
So how can others get in touch with you? Anyone that wants to donate or join the Mr. Fit program, how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, that's a good one. So if you want to get in touch with me to donate to Mr. Fit, and I would love for you to at least, if not donate, you can reach me to at least be in a database so I can send you information. Send me your information to MrFitInc1 at gmail.com. That's MrFitinc 1 at gmail.com. And I tell people that they can email me. I take their information, I put it in a database. And that way, whatever I generate out information-wise, you can get it. You can also follow me on social media. You guys know social media is a big thing now. You dig? I try to keep it simple. I keep it my name. Instagram is Joel C. Ware. Twitter is Joel C. Ware. YouTube, I have a YouTube channel. Oh, if you want to come to YouTube, I have some workout tutorial videos that I'm going to be putting up for my fit family. YouTube is my name, Joel C. Ware. I try to keep it consistent so it's helpful that way. The only thing that's different is Facebook. See, Facebook is my artist name, JB Ware. And I did that because somebody hacked Joel C. Ware. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's the way you can reach me. You can reach me all the time like that. I do respond to my fans. I do respond to anybody that reach out to me. If they talking that yang, that creative stuff, I don't even respond, baby.
Okay.
Because you got some people be talking that yang, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I don't even worry about them, you know? You can't give energy to the negative energy. Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much. It has been a great honor of ours to have you on Reach and Teach Association. And
likewise, I appreciate it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that concludes this episode. We hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to give us a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more to come.
Yes, ma'am.
See you next time.
Yes, ma'am.